Hey y'all, this is Philippe, the Learn to Grow guy. Today we're going to do something which is a little bit different. I'm going to show you something a little different, okay? And guess what? It is sweet potato season in my area. At least that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it sweet potato season now. But let me show you what I'm about to do, okay? This year I'm going to grow sweet potatoes under these covers here, going all the way down to the end. And it's something different compared to last year. Last year, what I did was that I planted them in that bed there. You can look up one of the old videos from last year. You can see that there. But the key thing is that I'm going to be raising the sweet potatoes and grow them right here, and have them do their thing, vine up all on here. It's going to make it a little bit easier to harvest the greens, and this should make it a little bit easier to get to the sweet potatoes. Well, maybe not, but nonetheless, I'm trying something different this year. You're going to go into these holes here. Yes, what you're seeing to the left are actually greens. You can see that other video where I talk about the purpose of these greens. This here is what you call lamb quarters. Lamb quarters is actually a green that tastes somewhat like spinach. When you look to the back of the lamb quarters, typically there's a little, There's a little protein powder that's on the back of them. But if you look at the leaves looks like duck's feet. I believe some people also call these duck feet. But this stuff tastes like, sort of tastes like spinach. You can eat them raw, or you can actually saute them. They taste pretty good. Now, to continue on, this is where I'm going to be putting them. So all the sweet potatoes will be growing right in here. Okay? So I'm going to take you back to show you exactly what I'm doing. Walking back to the greenhouse, future projects. Okay? I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Basically, what I've done is that I've already washed me sweet potatoes. I've also had them grow in some, put them in some soil. Here they are right here. They've been washed. They're organic potatoes, sweet potatoes. They've been washed, and I've had them in here for more than a month. This was the first one to sprout. This one is a Japanese sweet potato. This one is a white sweet potato. They're all organic. And this one is it's a purple Stokes sweet potato. That one has not produced anything yet, but this one have. And I'm going to be working with this one. I'm going to work with this one slightly to show you exactly how I did things. From the ones that I've picked them and I've trimmed them down and I've put them in this water. They've been sitting in here for about a week. And as you can see, there are roots on some of these. Okay, some of them had roots already, but nonetheless, that's where we're at this time. Some of them have roots and ready to be planted. Okay, this here is my jar of rainwater. Okay, it's an old jar. It's been cleaned out. This is rainwater. I don't have city water. It's rainwater that I have. This here is the sweet potato that we're going to, the sweet potato slips we're going to harvest from here. And you gotta pull them gently but firmly. Okay, this is what I've pulled out here. This is what I've extracted. All right. That's what I've extracted. As you can see, some of them have a little bit of roots. And odds are this one, I'm going to leave this one as is. So I'm going to put it into the water. Otherwise, this one here, it has so many different stems on it. So therefore, I'm going to cut this one into pieces. And I'm going to put those into the water. Okay. I cut this one here just below where this one here was breaking out at. And this one goes into the water. Okay, this one here comes all the way up to this one here, so I'm clipping that one there. You can make them a whole lot longer, okay? I'm being cheap. I'm being on the cheap side because I don't have. That's the only one that I had from this white sweet potato that I'm trying to get into the ground. You can even let them go with two, like I'm doing here. Okay, put them into the water and let them do their thing. And this one here, I'm going to leave this one alone as is. Okay, and I'm going to put this into the water. All right, I'm going to let this sit off for about a week, and then it's going to be ready. This is basically what I've done here. And see, look, this is after a week. And again, some of them had roots from the start. However, if you look at, let's take a look. Let's see what we can find. This one here, as you can see, it already had roots started on it from before. This one too. This one was a piece of a cutting, but it was close to where the stem was. This one here, I probably could have cut it into just 2 more. Okay. Here's one. It was cut. I'm not sure what happened here with this here, but nonetheless, as you can see, it's still alive, which means that it can still bear roots. And keep in mind that even though it may be like this, you can still plant them. This one here is one that's starting new roots, as you can see off to the side here. Apparently this one, if it doesn't start any new roots here, it's going to start them up here someplace, and that's perfectly fine. I'm putting this one off to the side. And this is a small one. As you can see, it's just starting with some new roots on it. And I probably could let this one sit out a little bit longer before I put them into the ground. And same with this one, but I'm going to put them into the ground anyway. Okay, as you can see here, this one had plenty of roots on it. And same with this one. So again, all these are going to be planted today. This one here is new roots. Okay, this is another one showing you new roots as to how ultimately it will root and grow and form sweet potatoes. But I'm going to plant all of these today. Well, most of them. Yeah, why not? I'll plant all of them, okay? Because like I said, even though this may not have roots on them, let's see. Nope, this one's just, whoop, I think I just broke this one. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Anyways, got another one here. I'm going to leave that alone. So the goal is to get these into the ground and get them planted, okay? And when you're doing yours, just be careful and make sure that you do not mess up your roots. Okay, now since what we're working with is very small slips, here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm using this tool here for the simple reason that I don't want to use the little shovel thing, and the little shovel thing is probably larger than, it's a larger tool than I probably have a need for. So that's why I'm using the weeding tool instead. This is my little bucket that I keep for whenever I do find some microplastics or plastics that's breaking up, so that I can get rid of them, because I don't like all that stuff in my garden, okay? So anyway, we'll start off with this first one, okay? And basically we're going to dig a hole, and we're going to put it in as deep as possible. I'm saying as deep as possible because you're going to want them to be able to develop roots as deep as possible, in the hope of actually producing larger sweet potatoes. This is one of the ones that didn't have roots on it. Well, maybe it has a little thing that's starting to develop here. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. But either way it goes, I'm doing it the same way. Unlike last year when we did the stepping with the sweet potatoes video, well, we don't have enough space to do the stepping here, okay? So therefore, we're just going to try to get it in as deep as possible, okay? And of course, we're going to squeeze it together and tuck it in so that it has a great chance of surviving, okay? Typically, the deeper that you want to plant whatever plant you're planting, except for trees and various other plants, but the deeper you put the roots and stuff like that, the rooting areas, the better. I'm thinking like, for example, like tomatoes, okay? You can treat tomatoes like that, but some plants, if you try to bury a tree, if you bury the root ball of a tree and it goes too far, that's the way it gets into the bark of the tree, the trunk of the tree. That's what you're going to do with damage, but that's not what you want to do here. We're going to do a few more, then after that I'm going to have to pause and let you guys, I'm going to pause so I can get this work done. See that? This is another reason I don't like to use mushroom compost, okay? My recommendation would be only to get mushroom compost from a source that will guarantee you, let you know that their compost is actually clean, so that you don't have all the little bits of whatever pieces of trash you're going to find in your mushroom compost, okay? So, and this is not from the mushroom compost. These are the black things here. I'm not sure if you can see them, but that's from this stuff here. Remember, if you're going to use this type of material, make sure you burn your holes, and do not cut your holes in burn your holes in. And I'm telling you this because of the rooting problems that I'm having. I'm looking at the size of this one. Maybe I should have brought the shovel over. Ooh, look. Beans from last year. And if I leave it in the ground, I can almost guarantee you that it will sprout and give me beans. And for some of you, it'll give you gas. Okay, anyway. Okay, again, I'm planting this as deep as I can. Okay, I'm planting as deep as I can. The goal is for it to continue producing or continue growing sweet potatoes. Okay, this is a little tiny one, but again, I'm going to put it in as deep as I can without burying the whole thing. And again, I'm tucking it in. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause and so I can finish this out. And I'll show you the finished product. Okay? Okay, I'm finished planting. Okay? And typically, I do not water my garden. All right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe that you probably should do the initial watering. But I probably will do some of that. What I did do is that some of the smaller plants, such as this one, I did give it some of the water that I had left out of the jar. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. Out of the jar that I had where I had the sweet potato plants at, okay? I did give them some additional watering, just that little bit. But like I was saying, I typically do not water. I typically let God do his watering. So again, the goal is for me to, it's going to take a little bit more work. It's going to require a little bit more work from my side. But the thing what I'm going to have to do is that I'm going to have to get them onto that right here. I got to get them onto that. Okay. And if I can get them onto that, that'll be great. Now, as far as these sweet potatoes, I only went so far with them. Remember, the goal is actually for these to get to grow more, so I can harvest some of the stems, some of the, so I can make some more sweet potato slips. All right. If I can make more sweet potato slips, that means that I have more sweet potatoes to plant throughout, I guess, throughout the property if I wish. Okay. Or I may even put some more back over there so that I have more sweet potatoes. Okay. Now, what's going to be going behind here is going to be cucumbers on the other side, right here. I'm going to put cucumbers to grow on this side, and they can vine up, going up here along with the sweet potatoes, okay? And there are some beans. I did not plant these beans. These are the long string beans that I had. They're still in the ground from last year. Looks like the seeds, yeah. I don't know if you can see that or not. Here, see, this one is sprouting and preparing to do its thing to grow, but my goal was not to plant beans over here. However, since that one decided that it's going to do its thing and try to grow, it is what it is. Okay. Otherwise, on the other side over here is where I'm having my Italian zucchini. I'm only doing a few of them this year. Okay, I'm only doing a few of them. That's another one. And there's a couple more over here that I planted earlier on. And of course, looks like the cucumber beetles are trying to attack them. See it? It's attacking them, so I'm going to have to take that one out. Cucumber beetle, that is. Hold on. That sucker flew away. That sucker flew away as it noticed I was coming near it. Okay, so looks like the cucumber beetles, they are attacking some of these squashes. Okay, and got to figure out and bring it into that. Anyway, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to repeat the process that I did with these here, with the other sweet potatoes. The white sweet potato, as it develops roots, I will be planting them out here too, so that they're able to do their thing. Excuse me. And the purple Korean one, I'm going to be planting that. Those are probably in the middle of these where the Italian zucchinis are going to go. So that's where I'm at now. And yes, if you look around, mustard greens are everywhere. Okay, y'all take care.